In Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5, the missions were very linear. Every time you would go off of a different place than you're supposed to go, the mission would fail and you would start over, and there was not really a lot of freedom. And this is one of the things that I wish in Grand Theft Auto 6. This is gonna be the wish list of 10 things I would love in GTA 6. Going back to the linear missions, if I need to infiltrate a building, I want to choose myself to do it via stealth or brute force or a social disguise, and do it in a very natural way, not like GTA 5 where you can choose it via an option and then that's what you're gonna do. I want to be able to, in the free world, choose to do it my way and not have to click a button that lets the game know that this is what I'm doing, right? And this will be also very good for replay value, because after every mission in GTA 5 you have this list of boxes that you can tick, right, to get the game 100%. This could be 3 different ways to complete the mission, and so 3 different ways to replay this game. And this is not necessarily impossible to code into the game if the NPC system is very smart. If you have different systems that are procedural to have different ways to go about missions, then there will be a lot of freedom. So I hope that that's one of the things that they'll do. The second thing on my wish list is customization, and this is obviously clothing and cars like we usually have, expanding on that, but also if you're gonna buy a home, maybe you can build it from the ground up and go to an architect to choose which kind of design you want for the building, and then also go to a home interior designer to choose how the home is gonna look inside. That would be very cool. And obviously in terms of personal appearance, you would also have hair dye as we see in the trailer, detailed makeup systems, maybe scars that will stay and they will heal over time, tattoos, and maybe even changing your body, such as getting fat or slim, which helps change the way you move around, the way you walk, the way you shoot, the way you run, the way you jump. That would be super cool, and yeah, that should be coming back from GTA San Andreas. As we all know, that's one of the greatest features in that game. Number 3 on my wish list is more diverse melee combat systems and training for different fight styles. Just like in San Andreas, you had distinct fighting styles like boxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, and just street fighting, just going at it without any thought. And for that, I would love to have training locations, so gyms and dojos, where you can unlock or improve these styles. And you need to be able to train for them, so that's a little bit of a mini game, going to the gym and train, getting your muscle system up, and then going to a personal trainer, paying them, and you'll have a new fight style unlocked as you go train with the guy. And maybe that can be one of those missions where you have to push certain buttons at certain times. Don't make it too long and too tedious because it can get boring. But yeah, if you have a cool combat system, then the game is gonna be infinitely more fun to play for a long while. And when GTA Online comes out, they can introduce new gyms, and so they can introduce new combat systems and new fighting styles. So that's what I really would love. Maybe you would have dodging, parrying, grappling, and environmental takedown, so grabbing a brick and punching somebody's head in with that, and maybe even skill trees that are tied to these combat proficiencies and stamina, giving more of an RPG like progression. And also just to make sure that you know what kind of skills you have, because in San Andreas you would go to a gym, you would train, you would know the fighting style, and then if you want to do a different fighting style, you had to go back to another gym and go do that training again, but then you would lose the fighting style you had before it, so you had only one at a time. So maybe there's a way to kind of change fighting styles on the fly. That would be very interesting to me. Maybe just like the weapon wheel, you would have a melee like fighting style wheel where you can change the fist on the weapon wheel to something like a boxing glove or something else resembling a different fight sport, you know what I mean? So that would be very cool. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'm trying to get to a bazillion subscribers by tomorrow, so please subscribe. And memberships are now available, so if you want to be mentioned at the beginning of the video, have your name shouted out by me, then go ahead and choose a membership. Let's get back to the video. Number 4 is also a little bit of a physical one. It's better parkour or free running elements. I always love those games where you can free run, like Mirror's Edge or Assassin's Creed or those type of games, and I would love to have a more fluid system for GTA 6. It would be super fun if it was just fluid, because in all the other previous Grand Theft Autos, it's all a little bit clunky and slow, and maybe there's also like a way to learn how to do it faster. As your stamina goes up, you're able to have smoother free running skills, making it less clunky that way. And also, maybe if your stamina is maximized, you could run, and when you jump, you do like a front flip or like some cool flips or whatever. I think that that will be very fun, and also obviously that's something that you will be able to train in like a fitness gym or like a trampoline park or something like that, to make it a natural improving skill. Number 5 is going to be interactions with wildlife. And one of the things that I'm kind of, I don't know about, is that the wildlife is something that you can just go and look at and nothing very much else. In Red Dead Redemption 2, you could hunt and you could go fishing, and that was very cool. And maybe that's something you could do in GTA 6 as well. Maybe you can have a couple of animals as very rare collectibles and keep them as pets that are very exotic. Something that also would be cool is if you have a car chase and you crash in the forest, then you will have to kind of look out for animals that will be hunting you, and so you really need to watch out when you're escaping through the jungle. If there's gonna be a jungle in GTA 6, I'm not sure if there's gonna be a jungle. Number 6 is gonna be talking to NPCs and recruiting them as well to make the world more immersive and richer feeling. You can go deeper with social mechanics, so you can gather intel or like flirt with these people, bribe them for information, threaten them, or joke around, and maybe even have friends that you can pull up on your phone and you can call them and go do stuff with them. And imagine if you can build loyalty with these NPCs over time. So if they like you enough, they can be recruited as muscles or combat backup, maybe hackers or drivers or inside men for heists, or personal crew members with their own skills and side stories, so you'll be able to hear about what they have done in the past, and that would be super cool. Number 7 is the return of first person mode. We don't know if this is in the game, so I'm putting it on my wish list. Maybe have smoother transitions between third person and first person, and also realistic movement like peeking corners or immersive driving with mirrors that actually work, as we can see in the trailer. Maybe even manual gear shifting, that you can see which gear it is shifting to, and better head bobbing physics for the camera, weight and FOV customization that suit any player that is playing the game would be cool. Now for number 8, we have choices that matter. So going beyond simple dialogue options, choices that impact your relationship, your crew loyalty, mission availability, and the ending of the story. You gotta let your past decisions echo throughout the game, and maybe killing a gang leader early creates a power vacuum that changes an entire district, or you can choose who to trust in story missions. Alliances will be able to shift and betrayals will happen depending on what you do, and the small things could be able to matter too. Saving a civilian might help her later, while ignoring them makes you feared, or they will give you something later on in the game. That's something that I'm really excited about if it is in GTA 6, to have more diverse ways of playing the game, to again give you that replayability later on when you finish the game. Number 9 is the return and expansion of in-game creator tools, so missions, races, or cutscenes. And in terms of the mission creator, I want to be able to create storylines with triggers and dialogues and enemy spawns and objectives. I want to be able to use the microphone to create player dialogue for these missions. And with the race creator, I want to add like cool weather effects, maybe even custom traffic, custom checkpoints as we already have, maybe even AI racers in case you're playing solo. Now in terms of cutscene editors, that's kind of like the Rockstar editor, but a little bit more easy to use, directing your own scene, and using NPC actors and camera control. And obviously you want to be able to share these creations with other creators and browse and download the best rated ones at a like Rockstar social club type deal. And for the last one, it is a simple one. It is a clean and empty HUD when possible, and the HUD items only show up when you need to look at them. For example, the minimap only showing when a user pulls up their map on the phone. So you keep the screen clutter free unless in combat or like super fast driving. You use your in-game smartphone to bring up the minimap. Maybe environmental cues replace HUD markers like street signs and NPC dialogue or landmarks that are easier to understand. And you can toggle every HUD element on and off for individual full control, as we know already exists in the previous Rockstar game. But like things like health bar or weapon icons or radio station names, you only need them at a specific time, right? So maybe there's a way to change it up from the previous games where you don't need to see these things all the time on your screen. This would also give a very much more cinematic feeling if there's no HUD on the screen, and I really love that about a lot of games, that they only show extra information when necessary. So that is all for today's wish list. What do you want in GTA 6? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I see you guys next time. Bye.